Hello, everyone. Scott Zambelli here with Team Titans of Real Estate out of Shelby Township, Michigan, with Realty Hometowns Executive. And over on the side of the screen there, we got Jill Webler. For some reason, I got her on the small screen here. Let's see if we can make this better. There
Hi,
we go.
everybody.
All
Good
right.
after. Well, I'm thinking it's afternoon. Is it after 12? Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, is it 12 already? Oh my God, 11:42.
I
So
don't
almost.
know. Let's see. 11:42, almost.
Almost. So yeah, so we're still playing with our setup as I'm doing this, I'm learning. The problem isn't my internet connection. The problem is my laptop. Evidently, it's a crappy one. So uh, yeah, so I'm gonna have to now my Cintiq computer, which I have set up right now to handle my sound, is actually working great. So I'll have to figure out a way to set this whole thing up differently. But anyways, on that note, here we are. We're approaching a full week of shelter in place. Tomorrow is the 1 week mark. Today is day 7. So, how are you faring?
I am faring well. I do have to say I am getting used to this now. Um, in the beginning, I was kind of like, wow, what am I going to do with my time? But magically, I am finding things to keep me busy the whole entire day. I've yet to say I'm bored. I'm finding things to do, so that's good. Obviously, President Trump announced last night that he's extending our stay in place for a little bit longer to the end of April. So we all just have to be patient and do the right thing so we can get past this.
Yeah. Now, one of the things to keep in mind too with that extension, that's the president extending that. So that's not a mandate on all of us here in Michigan. That's just regarding the federal programs and his recommendation. But so for it to extend in Michigan, Governor Whitmer will actually be the one to do the extension. She has not done that yet, but that doesn't mean she won't. So.
Right. So yeah, we'll just have to watch and wait and see what she comes back with. Um, but outside of that, I am doing well. I went running yesterday. You know, we had that little window yesterday morning before the wind started up where it was sunny. Car said that it was about 63 degrees at one point yesterday, but so I got in a 5K. So that always feels great anytime I get to run. So I was pleased. But how are you doing there on your side of the town?
Also, things are going okay. Can't complain. I've been working on my drawings and stuff like that, getting caught up on things. Also, very much into. I've got a variety of um, stories that I'm working on and website updates. So I've actually been nonstop busy, which has been really nice. I've not had a moment of boredom during this whole week. And I still have a long list of things I want to accomplish. So got a ways to go. So with this extension, I might get a lot done.
I know there was a lot of things I needed to get done that I just have not been getting to, and one by one, I'm slowly getting them off my to-do list. So that's a great feeling.
Yeah. So we've got our phone numbers scrolling along the bottom of the page here. That's our phone lines. You got Jill Webler's number there, 586-277-2145. Then you have mine, which is 586-549-6096. As always, we're here for you for all of your real estate needs. You want a consultation, whether you're looking to buy or sell, we're here for you. And like we've been saying all week, use this time, this shelter in place, to get your things done around the house that you've wanted to do, to get your house ready. So when this is lifted, you'll be in a position to list your house quickly, because there is pent up demand right now. We've had a lot of buyers who are trying to find homes, and this is kind of put it on hold. You can still make offers, but unfortunately, you can't actually go into the houses because we've been deemed non-essential. If you have any deals in progress, don't worry, those are being completed. We've had some slight delays only because the employment verifications have been difficult with so many companies closed. That's been the only hiccup right now, but the title companies are going, the banks are going, the government offices are still going. So everything in the process is still there. We just got to get those employment verifications done. So also, if you're somebody who works at a company where you are shut down and you have employees, find out if any of them need employment verifications, because you'll have to actually go into the office to reply on the company phone line. They cannot call your private cell phone to do these employment verifications. So that's something else to keep in mind. And if you don't want to move, but you do want to renovate, you can talk to Jill about that.
Absolutely. I've mentioned this in the past. A lot of times people just don't have the money maybe at the time to go buy new furniture. And obviously right now it would be extremely hard for things like that. Maybe you're in a situation where, you're in the house now, obviously a lot longer than you would like to be. And maybe you want to have it look better. You want to make it look different. So those are things I can help you with. You can send me a picture of the room that you want to redo or a video, and we can do an on-phone consultation. And I can go over my fees related to that, but I would love to be able to help you if you want to start making your house look better now while we're all stuck inside.
Right. So here you see Jill's beautiful home makeovers page, and she can help you there. But to follow her, I'll put it up on the banner here. She is right here. So you can find her at facebook.com/home makeovers by Jill. So be sure to go there, follow her page. You can see updates of the various things she has done. She does wreaths and home makeovers, and she posts articles about here's one she did: 20 steps to protect your homes from viruses. So she does a lot of tips in there also. How to seriously deep clean your kitchen, that might be a good one. And then some before and after photos of some different projects she's done. So there's a whole bunch on there. So follow her there, and you can get any advice you want for making over your house while you are sheltered in place. And then
Absolutely. Yep. Feel free to
go ahead.
Feel free to call me if you guys want to discuss anything. Also, if maybe let's say when we're done with the virus and everything's kind of back to normal, if you're thinking about remodeling your home and you just want someone to run some ideas with, we can set up appointments for that as well. So.
Right. So there you have that. Let's get us back into this mode. All right. So we were talking about some things we can talk about. I thought this was cool. A little sidebar. John Krasinski, also known as Jim from The Office, he started his own YouTube channel where it's all good news. It's all the stories of people in the area, things they've done, so people can submit their stories and share what neighbors are doing for each other during this time. And I thought that was a really good idea. So if any of you have any good news stories, photos, things from your neighborhood that occurred and you want to share it with us to share on here, just let us know. We'd love to share those kind of stories.
I love that. Yeah, I saw that pop up on my news feed this morning on Facebook, and I thought, good for him. We definitely hear enough negative things right now on the news. So any amount of positive actions that we can hear about, I think that's going to be encouraging to all of us. So.
Yeah, definitely. So that's cool. I'm just trying to get this here, trying to figure out how to share another screen here. Let's see. I'm afraid I'm going to hit the wrong button and let's see, remove. There we go. Let's see. I'm afraid I'm going to hit the wrong button and lose my thing because I had it hide. I had it hide my streaming. Like there's a button I could press to stop the page from streaming, and I don't see it now. I'm trying to switch it over to a different screen. So let's see what happens when I do this. Well, you might lose me here, just to warn you. So if I do
so while you're doing that, I just want to remind everybody who's watching, if you have questions while we are on live, feel free to write a comment, a post here on our Facebook feed, and then we can answer your question, or if you have a story to share, any topic you want us to discuss that that we can help you with, just go ahead and type it below, and then we'll try to answer your question.
That's right. All right. So one of the things Jill wanted to talk about on here is let's get it up there. Let's see if it went. Oh, I got to add it to the screen. That's why. Add to stream. There we go. All right. Do you see it on your screen, Jill?
I can see it. Yeah, it looks great.
So we've got 14 household appliances you're using all wrong. Do you have that article up on your side there, Jill?
Yep, I'm good. I can see it on the computer here. So.
Okay. So let's see here. How do they have this laid out? 15. Okay, so there's some slides here. So we're going to have to go to the slides. Full. Yeah. So let's see. Will it go to full screen? Let's see if it'll go to full screen. Perfect.
There you go.
All
that
right.
Looks good.
Yeah. So
all right. So the first one, if you want to hit that arrow to the right, it's going to be talking about ceiling fans.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, thermostat. I skipped one. It's going to be talking about the thermostat. So this one I thought was kind of interesting. You know, it was talking about the placement of your thermostat is important. So I don't know if many people know this, but you don't want to have you don't want the thermostat to be by anything that gives off heat. So like your TV, anything that could possibly give off heat is going to throw off the true reading of your thermostat. So you want to have your thermostat put in a place that is reflective of being able to measure the temperature of that area, but not, affected by any heat. So.
Yeah, with the thermostat, a lot of people don't realize when you set your temperature for your house that you want, it's basing it upon the temperature where the thermostat is located. So let's say you have it in an area of the house that's actually really cold, for instance, and let's say you have all your doors shut in your house, right? Well, if all your vents are opened, like let's say the bathroom and other things, if those rooms are being closed off, that warm air that's being pumped into those rooms is not circulating the house. It's getting trapped in the room. And the furnace will keep running, trying to get the temperature up to the needed temperature. That's why if you ever have a room in the house where you open the door, it's super hot in that room. It's because the flow of air in the house is getting trapped in there, and it's not making its way to the thermostat. So the thermostat thinks it's actually colder than it is. So it will keep pumping until it reaches the desired temperature. So if you have any rooms like that, maybe shut those vents so that the airflow isn't going into that room and filling up with heat.
Exactly.
All right. So
all right. So let's go to number 2, ceiling fans. So I am the type of person, you'll have to tell me how you are, Scott, but I have to have a ceiling fan running or even a floor fan at night while I'm sleeping. I just feel like the air circulates better and it makes me sleep better. But did you know that you really should be running your ceiling fan all year round, not just when it's warm? The reason for that is, we're controlling the temperature of our home, but we want to circulate that throughout the home. And so what you can do is during the winter time, you want to set your fan to be spinning clockwise. And what that does is it creates an updraft that will push the warm air back down. Now, when it warms up, then you want to switch it the other way, so in reverse, so that you have the cool air being pushed down.
This is especially important when you have the cathedral ceilings and high ceilings, because so much air will get trapped up there.
Exactly. Now, I live in a level home, so I have 3 bedrooms upstairs and then a bedroom on the main floor. So we have a very high, tall cathedral ceiling in our family room. So we run that fan just because, the second floor in the summertime, really all year round, can tend to get warm. So by running that fan, it does help us circulate that air up there.
Yeah. Now, one bit of warning I will give about ceiling fans and fans in general is, let's say it's summertime and there's a power outage, not power outage, but let's say the air, it's one of those like super hot days, and let's say your air conditioning breaks. Okay. You got to be careful with the use of fans though, because like this has happened before in like elderly centers, living places, because everyone puts fans on, right, to try to cool off. Well, what's a convection oven? It's an oven with a fan
It's
in
run
it
with fans.
and blowing up,
Yeah.
right. So circulating air in a condition where it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter actually accelerates the heating up process. So when you're in a situation like those apartments where if the AC breaks down and it's 100 degrees outside, you actually don't want to put the fan on. So
Okay.
because you're just creating a homemade convection
Good
oven.
to know.
Cook yourself more.
Now,
So
this
be
is something
careful.
else. Okay, something else I learned about ceiling fans. Um, if you have a problem with dry eyes, which I do, some of my daughters have that problem, ceiling fans can tend to aggravate that. In
Yeah.
fact, I just read this last week, and this would definitely apply to me. So if you have dry eye, when we sleep, apparently our eyes don't close quite all the way. There's a very, very small gap. So if you run your ceiling fan at night while you're sleeping and you have dry eye, that can be a reason why you wake up with very itchy eyes or red eyes or irritated eyes, and it's from that air kind of going across your eye through the whole night. So I thought that was interesting. I'm still going to keep running my fan, but I definitely have a problem with dry eyes. So
Yeah. Plus, without your eyes blinking at night, you're not re-wetting them. So that's another thing. Okay.
correct, right?
Number 3,
Yep.
your HVAC system. For those who
Yes.
don't know what
So
HVAC is, it's heating, ventilation, and cooling.
correct. So a lot of people, they don't want their heating or so their cooling system to be visible. And so they try to come up with creative ways to hide it. Some of the things people do is they might put shrubbery around it or arborvitaes or something to kind
Shrubbery.
of make it not as noticeable. But you don't want to do that because what you're doing is you're blocking the airflow.
Yes.
And that's just making your system have to work that much harder. You're going to be taking, years off your system because of that. But you want to make sure you have proper ventilation for it to work at its optimal capacity.
Yeah, your AC system it's made to be outside your central air unit. And one of the big mistakes people make is they cover it. They wrap it during the winter months. You don't want to do that. You actually reduce the lifespan of it, along with just like with these shrubs, because what happens is moisture gets in, but if you don't have the proper ventilation, it doesn't evaporate out and it sits in there and it rusts the components and it'll actually reduce the life.
Yes.
So don't wrap it in the wintertime. That's a big no-no. Now, if you want, you can put like a wood board or something over the top to keep maybe leaves or something from getting into it, but leave the exterior exposed during the winter months. And then like Jill said, now that it's spring, when you're doing that yard cleaning, clear it out, give some good space around it, because not only do you need the ventilation, you want the sun and the wind to be hitting it so any moisture that gets in it does evaporate out. So that's an important tip. Let's see here. Next, the dryer. Jill has a personal story she has shared multiple times.
Yeah, so this is something we definitely all need to take serious. I always, this picture is showing the lint trap. And so we all know that you're supposed to clean this out before every load that you put in your dryer. So I've done that for years. My kids are trained to do, they all know we need to clean that out. I thought we were doing a very good job about keeping that clean. In fact, I got a new dryer about a year ago. So I thought, okay, I've got a high efficiency dryer. We're cleaning out the lint trap. We're good to go. Until one day, I found out that we had a flash fire in our dryer, and I couldn't understand why would this be with it being new and whatnot. Well, it ends up, we had that aluminum type where it's almost like an accordion. It has all those vents in it, and that was what was used to vent our dryer outside. There was lots of turns and whatnot, and just because of that overall style, lint built up inside of that. And that's what, it got backed up, and there wasn't good ventilation through there, and that's what caused the flash fire. So it could have been a very serious situation. We were actually quite blessed that it was only the flash fire. But what you need to do is really, there's different stronger piping, I guess, I don't know if that's the right word, that you can use to vent out from your dryer instead of that accordion style. But if you're going to continue to use the accordion style, you really need to take it apart and completely clear it out from one end to the other. Don't assume because you're reaching, we had one of those tools where you stick it in there and it's supposed to bring out all of the buildup of lint, but it didn't, because we had so many turns in ours, we weren't able to get all the way to the other end. And that was where the problem was. So if you can take steps to avoid that problem, I highly recommend it. Just a little tidbit of information. Every year there are 2,900 dryer fires. So this is like a real problem.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just posted on the screen and it's in the comments. The link, if you want to join us on here, you can join through your phone or through your, if you have a webcam or a camera on your laptop or anything like that, you can join us. You just need some type of Wi-Fi or hardline link to the internet. But you can copy and paste that invite link or ask us and we'll forward it to you and you can join us here on the screen. All right, next. So that was the dryer. Next is the washing machine.
All right, so I have a lot of kids, so I have a ton of laundry. And I think we all at times are tempted to just pack our washing machine with as many clothes as we can to limit the amount of loads of laundry that we have to do. But that is a terrible idea. You want to make sure your clothes have enough room, one, for the water and soap to move around freely to, clean it properly. But also, if you have too much packed in there at one time, you are going to cause your clothes to be rubbing together. So you're going to have all kinds of pilling and undue wear and tear on your clothes. So you don't want that. But also, if you overfill your machine, you can cause your washing machine to become unbalanced. The drum can get off balance, and then you hear that loud banging noise. I know I'm guilty. I have done that before. So we just want to make sure we put the proper amount of clothes in there for a load. So.
Very good. The dishwasher, number 6. Excuse me.
So most of us use a dishwasher. Now with this is that you don't want to overcrowd it. So you don't want to, stack or nest your dishes. You want to have, a little bit of space between each of them. But also you want to make sure you have the dirty side of the dish facing towards the middle. That way the water and soap are circulating and hitting the dirty side evenly. And then you want to try to angle them a little bit downward if you can as well. So, all of our dishwashers come with directions on how to properly load them. So you can refer to that. But I thought this was, overall some good tips.
Oh, very good. See, if you handle your dishwasher like I do, that my dishes are practically clean when I put them in. All right, the microwave.
I have to tell you a comment about that. Oh, what? Let me just real quick mention about the dishwasher. I bought several dishwashers in my life. And one of the times I can remember telling the salesperson, well, I want to make sure I have one that can handle a lot of food. I have 4 kids. So I'm going to be running this a lot. And so he taught, I went over my needs. And he's like, well, tell me how you normally do. I said, well, I rinse the dishes and I put them in the dishwasher. And he's like, let me stop you right there. He's like, you do not need to rinse your dishes. He goes, dishwashers are now made to be able to handle the load that's on the plates, because there's sensors in there and it lets them determine like how much water and soap and whatever is needed. So I don't know if that's true, but that was advice a salesperson had given me.
I say lies. That's what I say. I
Yeah,
always
I
have,
still rinse mine.
when we put stuff in without rinsing, I have to rewash it afterwards. It's lies.
Do you?
I rinse everything ahead of time, put it in. For me, the dishwasher is a way of disinfecting. That's all. Cleaning and disinfecting. I
Yep.
take plus like I have a garbage disposal in my sink, whereas there's no garbage disposal on the dishwasher. So I don't want chunks of food going down that shouldn't be. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
That's me though. I do all mine. I make sure mine are well rinsed. All right, next
Yep.
microwave.
I rinse mine too. All right, microwave. All right, so I have a question for you, Scott. Do you think that the shape of the dish that you're using to heat up your food matters?
I'm gonna say yes because if it didn't, you wouldn't be asking.
All right. So that is correct. The shape does matter.
Okay.
Um, so what you want to do, you don't want to use square dishes. What happens is they attract heat and energy, and it leaves the area in the middle for the food to be overcooked and potentially takes heat away from that area. So they recommend per this article that you should use dishes that are round and that it would heat more evenly.
What about when the food is square like lasagna?
You have to cut the corners off to make it round.
Okay, got it. Very good. See,
Triangle
I
piece,
did not know the
triangle
shape
pieces of
mattered.
pizza won't work.
Yep, I did not know that. So it overcooks the center when you have squares.
No, it doesn't cook the center with square.
Wait a minute. I thought it said it does. The corners actually attract
No,
heat and
if you have
energy, leaving the
square, it
area.
says it
Oh,
leaves the area in the middle
the
undercooked. I'm
the
sorry,
middle. Yeah.
overcooked. Yep, you're correct. It overcooks.
No, it takes away heat from the middle. It overcooks the. It's weird the way it's written. The corners get overcooked, is what it's saying. Anyways,
Okay.
something gets overcooked. I must say though, this man looks very happy using his microwave. Look
He
at that
does. It makes you
joy.
wonder, what did he just put in there?
Yeah, what is he cooking?
I'm guessing pizza.
Pizza? I think he made like some kind of microwave cookie.
Oh yeah, that would make me smile.
All right, the
Oh, let me bring
blender.
this up really quick. Just really quick regarding microwaves. If you want to clean the inside of your microwave, because a lot of times we have splatter, obviously if you can use one of those covers that you put right on top of the plate, that's ideal. But if you don't have that, or someone forgets to put it on, if you get a bunch of splatter inside your microwave, put like a cup of water, use like a glass measuring cup with a cup of water, put in a little bit of vinegar, run it, put it in your microwave for about 5 minutes. Now, what happens is it makes that water boil and it forms a steam. And that vinegar and water steam helps loosen the cooked on food on the inside of your microwave. And so then you can wipe it out with a damp cloth. I even sometimes will dip my cloth back into the hot water. You have to be careful because you don't want to burn yourself. And then wipe out my microwave, and it gets it super clean. It's disinfected. It does a great job.
Very good. All right, blenders. We're only on number 8. Let's
Oh,
see.
well, okay. So do you want to talk about blenders, or do you want me to lead this one?
If I'll just read what it says here. If the smoothies you make at home never seem to turn out quite as good as they do at your local juice bar, it may be your bad blender technique. You should be chucking in the liquid ingredients first and then the smallest to largest ingredients after that. Tough ice should always be at the top. This helps the blades to run smoothly and prevents stalling and stopping. So there you go.
So I don't make smoothies very often, but I do have to say I'm guilty. I thought put the ice in first because that's where the blades are at the very bottom.
Yeah.
You want the blades to break all that up and then, the rest of the fruit juice, but I've been doing it all wrong.
Now, a little side note also, as people know, we do Weight Watchers, and we've been watching our weight all year. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary of joining Weight Watchers, and blending your fruit is awful. It's amazing. So, like, you follow the point system, and fruit, when you eat it whole, is 0 points, a lot of it. But once you put it in a blender, it actually skyrockets the point value, and it all has to do with how your body processes it and digests it. It goes straight to sugar and actually puts weight on you. So I no longer make smoothies.
Yep, I agree. I don't either. Yeah, they say the fruit in its natural form is the best because you get like the most fiber,
Right.
and the sugar isn't as easily digested. So
Yeah,
if you have an orange and a glass of orange juice, you would want to pick the orange over the juice.
correct. Okay, the slow cooker, number 9.
Right, so I use my slow cooker quite a bit. I actually have two. I love using them, especially if I'm going to be gone all day. I can put ingredients in the morning, and then I come home later on, or my kids get home and dinner's ready. So I definitely am a fan of the slow cooker. But I also am guilty of this.
I yell at people all
This
the time for
article
this.
says, yes, you are
Leave it
not
alone.
supposed to take the lid off to check
Nope.
or stir the food,
That's right.
especially
Leave it
if you
alone.
have it filled up halfway. You're just supposed to put it in and walk away and let it do its magic. So
Let it
I will
cook.
admit I'm guilty of taking that lid off.
That's right. You mess it up. All right. The toaster oven. I'll read this one. Think you're safe putting that Pyrex dish in your toaster oven? Think again. Grace Wanich, founder of The Brilliant Kitchen, says that while these dishes are typically fine in the microwave, they will shatter inside the toaster oven. Instead, she recommends using heat-safe stoneware. And for more culinary errors to avoid, discover these 17 ways you're using your kitchens all wrong. So there you go.
So
Don't put
I do
Pyrex
have
in
a
there.
toaster oven. Yeah, I have a toaster oven, but I got to tell you, I have switched to using an air fryer. And I know Scott, you have an air fryer as well, so you
Yes.
can
I'll be
attest to
using
this.
mine tonight,
Um,
actually, to make some chicken.
you can cook so much. I actually bought one. It's about the size of that toaster oven that you have up on the screen now, because obviously I have a bigger family, so I need to cook large portions of food. But I'm telling you, if you have not tried an air fryer, get one. You will not be sorry. I've done chicken wings, chicken breast, bacon, sausage, hamburgers, vegetables. It is phenomenal. There's just something about the taste, and it's healthier because your food is not sitting in
Right?
all that grease. It's kind of like grilling it, where that you don't have it's not sitting in the grease.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love my air fryer.
All right. Number 11, the pressure cooker, which is kind of a cousin to the
All
air
right,
fryer
so
way.
yeah, I've only tried a pressure cooker once. I bought one, I think from like QVC or something like that years ago, and I think I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't like it, so I sent it back. But the article does say if you use a pressure cooker, make sure it is properly sealed all the way around, because that's where you get your pressure. There has to be no gaps for the steam to get out. And I know too, you have to be very careful in operating these. You'll want to follow the directions, because if you don't do it right, you can have so much pressure that it like blows up your lid off and food gets
Yeah.
everywhere. So
Yeah, definitely. All right. Number 12, the food processor. If you are using your food processor to break down nuts, always remember to give the appliance's blades a break every few seconds. Let the blades cool when you're processing nuts. Pulse, wait, repeat. Otherwise, the blades heat up and the nuts will release their oil.
yes, that is true. I really only use my food processor. It seems like around Christmas time, that's when I do a lot of baking of cookies. And I use it for two reasons: to chop up nuts, which it does a fantastic, or I have a cookie that requires oatmeal to be finely, to be chopped up very finely. So I use it for that as well. But yeah, it is a good idea. They do heat up quick. So that's a good point to make sure you just kind of turn it on, off and on.
All right. Number 13 is your hot water heater. If you're using a timer to program
Okay.
your hot water heater, you're wasting energy and your money. How? Well, according to Zohan Duran, managing director of Squires and Duran Plumbing and Heating, doing this could mean you're heating up a lot of hot water. So you're heating up a hot water cylinder when you don't need to. Instead, wait until you actually need the hot water to activate the heater accordingly. So what, every time you're going to turn on your hot water, you're supposed to go downstairs and do the temperature?
Yeah, I
I
know this one
I
I
say
kind of was
fooey to
scratching
this
my head
one.
at.
Here's
Right,
what I
I
will say
agree with
though.
you.
If you are leaving your house, let's say you're going on vacation or something like that, your hot water heater does have a vacation mode. So you can go downstairs, turn it down, so you're not heating up water that you don't need to.
That's
So
a good point.
now, also one of our
Yep.
home inspectors that we use a lot with home inspection professionals, he actually, when he goes on vacation, he actually turns the water supply off to the hot water. Now, the tank itself will still be full, so he sets that to vacation mode, and he turns off the hot water, so the water supply to the house. That way, if something blows, it's not pouring out thousands of gallons of water while you're gone for a week. He actually had that happen to him once a long time ago, and that's why he does that.
Yep, I have heard other people say they do the same thing. That's a great idea because you don't want to come back from vacation and find out you've had water sitting in your home for, a few days, and that's a big problem, a big mess to have to deal with. So,
That's right. All right. The last but not least, the garbage disposal.
all right. So, we have to keep in mind that a garbage disposal is not intended to be a garbage can. So we cannot just throw anything and everything in our garbage disposal. Um, Especially grease. You do not want to put any form of grease into your sink or garbage disposal. So, for example, if you are, let's say you're frying up hamburger meat and or bacon, and you have a ton of grease, obviously you don't want your food sitting in that. So we all usually drain that from our food. You do not want to drain that into your sink. It's going to, when it cools down, it's going to solidify and it's going to cause you some big problems.
Yeah, that can
Now, what
clog
I
up
do
all the
is
top of the pipes.
right. So what I do is if I have an empty can, let's say I opened up a can of vegetables or something, I will pour it into the metal can and let it solidify and then throw it in the garbage.
Yep.
If I don't have that, I pour it into like a coffee cup because I want something that can withstand the hot oil and not break. And then once it solidifies enough, then I will put it into the garbage and then just, wipe out whatever oil there is and then wash it. But you want to be very, very careful. Now, I don't know what your opinion is on this, Scott. I've heard some people say that they don't feel it's safe to put eggshells into
You
your
do not
garbage
put
disposal. Do you
eggshell.
have an opinion on that?
No, I do not have an opinion. I have fact.
Okay.
um, no, it's onions and eggshells you're not supposed to put in. The reason being, they have a very fine skin. Like the eggshell has a skin that goes around the egg underneath it. That skin on that, as well as on the onions, will actually get caught up in the blades and over time accumulate. So you're not supposed to use those in there. You're supposed to throw them out. Also, rice. You're supposed to not put rice down there. It can get caught in the motor and blades and gunk up and cause issues in the long run. So rice is another thing you're not supposed to put down there.
Oh,
Actually, while we're
I did not
talking
know that
about
about
this,
rice.
yeah. Here, let me get a list here. What not to put in garbage disposal. I'm going to pull up here's some. Let me grab that screen here. So if I shut this and go here and say share screen, right here, share. All right, so let's get this up on the screen so we can see the list. So for here, 8 things you should never put down your garbage disposal. So this is a very good thing. I mean, I think this is an obvious one. Bones. You don't put bones in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Right.
an
Yeah,
obvious
definitely
one.
that's an obvious one.
Celery, also similar to the onions, it's got those long stringy fibers to it. Those will actually get caught up and tie up inside the motor. So you don't want celery.
Oh. Okay, I could see that. I didn't know that, but I could see that being an issue.
Yeah, so let's see. Number 3, coffee grounds. They're deceptive. They appear to go down easy, but really they're going to pile up and cause a sludgy sediment in the drain. And that's one of those items that down, even though it might go through the garbage disposal, whatever waste you put in there has to make it all the way down the pipe out into the sewers out in the street. And this clogs up. It gets all goopy and can create almost like a sludge that will catch other things up. Eggshells. Here's the eggshells. It says there's a bit of an argument on this one. Some people say they're totally safe and that they actually help with sharpening your disposal blades, while others believe the shell's membrane lining can stick to the sides of the disposal and wrap around the shredder, wreaking lots of havoc. So I throw all my eggshells out.
Okay.
Pits. Oh, I would definitely not put pits in there. These are super hard.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That seems like common sense.
yeah, I think that's a common sense one. Grease, you just covered that one. Oh, this is interesting. Pasta. Spaghetti, ziti, linguine, fusilli, whatever you like, you sauce up. Whatever you like, you sauce up. Always expands when exposed to water. So whether you have a garbage disposal or not, you shouldn't dump it down the drain because it can swell up and fill the disposal trap. Same with rice.
Oh
That's
wow.
right. Yeah, that's right. Because in water, over time, it'll keep expanding, and that's where the problem
All
comes.
right.
All right.
I gotta tell you, I didn't know some of these. I'm guilty.
Yeah. Potato peels. This one I've heard also because the peels are rather tough. So, so there you have it.
All right. Well, that is some excellent advice. I learned something today.
Yeah. Let's cover that up. I got 2 cameras going. This camera actually works better, but points in the wrong direction. And I can't move it. So that one I'm covering up. All right.
So, I was wondering, have you been out and about? Just to kind of update, a lot of people are not able to get out or choosing not to go out to the stores. Um, I know I went out yesterday. It wasn't too bad. They have the spots marked about 6 feet apart, so the people that are in front of you or behind you, we're keeping our distance. I'm noticing the registers now have that clear plexiglass, kind of as a protectant for the cashier. What kind of things are you seeing?
Overall, I'm seeing things are better. I think the companies are starting to catch up. I'm starting to see small supplies of toilet paper. I just picked up a pack this morning, actually, when I was over at Walmart. I stopped at Meijer also. Meijer didn't have any when I got in there, but Walmart had a small supply. Bread, I'm starting to see on the shelves. I'm seeing lots of paper towel now, lots of tissues. So there are paper products returning to the shelf, so that's nice. Um, Also seeing there, it does seem like less people. When I filled up with gas yesterday, I paid $1.09 over at Costco, so that was nice.
Oh, wow. Isn't
Yeah,
that something?
yeah, it's amazing actually. Under normal situations, if we announced gas was $1.09, we would have massive lines of everybody filling up and trying to hoard the gas. And here we are in this situation, and nobody's going for it. It's interesting. I don't
Well,
really.
nobody's driving.
Right. I should fill up my regular 5-gallon gas tank though that I use in the summertime. I got to fill that up anyways. So I probably should just fill that up since it'll be $5 to fill
Yeah.
it up. But yeah, things are going
No,
good. Can't complain. I picked up some some shirts today and some apples and some other things.
Now, one of the things I've noticed that's not at stores anymore, as you mentioned, we both are doing Weight Watchers, and one of the things I've chosen to do is to eat a lower calorie bread, so that I can make my points go farther during the day. One of the ones that I like to buy is the Aunt Millie's. It's like 35 calorie bread. Um, I am unable to find that now, and I have read online that the bread companies have put a hold on making the lower calorie breads so that they can turn out a higher level of regular breads for all the
Yeah,
consumers. So
I did
I don't know if
see
that's a fact, but
I did see one bread today, low cal. It was Sara Lee. It was their 45 calorie per slice, but it was their multi-grain, which I if it was the white bread, I would have got it. So
yeah,
I don't mind multi-grain. It's just not my favorite. I'd rather just have one slice of regular bread instead of two slices of multi-grain. So yeah, but
yeah,
that was my first time seeing any low calorie bread out there. So maybe that's a sign that things are normalizing in the supply chain, hopefully.
yes.
So we'll see.
Now, one of the other things I saw were plastic gloves are being thrown everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, so I do not recommend it. This does not give us a free reign to like get rid of our manners and start throwing trash. I don't know where people came up with this, but
Well,
the
I think
parking
people
lots, you
didn't
can
have
tell what
manners to
happened.
begin with is the problem. I mean, so many people are selfish. You know, they all they care about is themselves, and they're using the plastic gloves to protect themselves, but then they're throwing them on the ground. Take it home with you and throw out. Or while you're at the store, they have garbage cans right there. Take them off and throw them in the garbage can if you don't want to take it home. But
Right,
to throw them on, first of all, it's nasty that you're putting your nasty garbage on the ground for somebody else to pick up. But also, if we get a heavy rain like we had the other day, that could go wash down into the sewers and then cause further problems later on doing that. So it's
right.
just nasty. If you can't handle
Yeah,
throwing out your own gloves, don't wear them.
right. I agree.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that I saw, and this was at multiple stores that I've been to, the employees are sanitizing the carts and they let you know. So when you go to grab a cart, they let you know this has already been sanitized.
Yep.
So when you go into the stores, kind of pay attention. I know we normally like to push our cart back where we got it from, but some stores are not wanting you to do that so they can keep the ones that are sanitized separate from the ones that need to be sanitized. So you just have to kind of pay attention, depending on what store you go into as far as what the protocol is for that.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, so that's some of the stuff going on around town. We're not going into the what I find interesting though is we're not going into the real estate office because we're deemed non-essential. However, my daughter works for a car dealership and they are deemed essential. She actually goes back to work later this week. So I thought that was
Really?
interesting. The reason being
Yeah.
because they have a service department. And so if your car breaks down, you would have to be able to get it serviced. So that is why it's because of their service department that they are deemed essential. So she will actually be going back into work since they are connected to the service department.
Okay. So even the car salesman, that area is working as well.
I don't know about the car salesman. I just know her job is deemed a sub department of the service department because they schedule, they make phone
Gotcha.
calls on recalls, things like that.
Yes.
So
Yep.
she's going
Okay.
back to work. I think she said Wednesday is when she's supposed to go back in because they were quarantined for a couple weeks because there was an illness. They got tested. It turned out they didn't have it. It was just a regular cold or something. But they got tested and they were in the self quarantine to be safe and make sure they didn't spread anything. But it turned out it was fine. It was just a regular cold or cough or something. So their quarantine
Well, I'm
ended.
glad that they're doing well.
Yeah. So she'll be going back to
Well,
work
I do
soon.
know when I went for my walk a few days ago, I passed a business that does oil changes, and they had a couple cars in there, and they were changing the oil. So obviously, they're deemed as essential
Because people need
because
cars.
obviously we're all yes, right.
Yep. So that's why.
But
So
I did
yeah. So
notice
that.
the car wash next door was closed. So car washes are not deemed as essential.
Yep. Your car can still run even without a car wash. Um,
Yes.
Now,
Yep.
my dad went up to Stony Creek Metro Park, and he said it was jam packed there. They had trouble finding a place to park, and that was interesting.
So that must have been yesterday when it was so nice out, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yep. So, all right. So we're already at the 50-minute mark here. I just want to point out some other thing before we sign off today. Potential conspiracy theory here, but I'll throw it out there in case it happens to be true. I will personally admit to not believing this is going to be true, but if it happens, at least you never know, right? So it's called.
Okay.
There's a hashtag 10 days of darkness thing going around. Now, this theory, this has been around for a while, I guess, a couple of years. So I'm going to admit to not putting much stock into this. However, you never know, right? I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on nowadays with everything going on. And while I tend to dismiss conspiracy theories, I have to say, I do enjoy reading them. I find it's an interesting read. With that said, there's been a lot of things I've noted that have actually happened over the last couple of weeks here. So it makes me pause and say, is there something to this? So anyways, hashtag 10 days of darkness. Supposedly, it begins tomorrow. And what the hashtag 10 days of darkness is referring to is that there's going to be an internet shutdown for 10 days. Is it going to happen? Who knows? I'm just saying, if it does happen, mark your calendar for 10 days. That's probably when it'll come back on. But supposedly they're going to shut down the internet.
That would be very life-changing. We are so accustomed to using the internet. Like, I don't even have a landline. And if I had a landline, I certainly wouldn't know anybody's phone number.
But even if you had a landline, does that ultimately connect to the internet? And is so much of our data is through those cable lines and internet lines.
Right.
So even if you do a purchase
that would
with a credit card, that goes through the internet. Yeah, I mean, everything's through the internet now.
Right. Yeah, so that would definitely be a challenge.
Yeah.
So just real quick, I have a message. Al Tong would like to join us for a few minutes here.
Okay.
Do we have time?
Yeah.
All
Where
right.
is he at? On Facebook?
Yeah, so Al, if you're listening, we are going to send you a invite on your Facebook Messenger account. So if you want to go to that.
Let's see if I can do this. Copy. And then I'm going to go here. My Facebook isn't open, so let me get to Facebook real quick. Of course, it goes slow. Oh wait, I could have done it through here. This will be faster. Wait a minute. If I go here, I can go here, here. Copy link. I'll go to Al. All right, let's see if this works. Send. Okay, Al, you theoretically will be able to click on that, but I don't know if it will. That sent. It doesn't look like the. What's it doing? I don't know if it's sent properly or not.
So I will ask him, did he receive the invite?
Well, he may have to. Let me try it this way. You
guys will have to bear with us. This is our first time.
I can do it this way. I think I can do it this way, right here. Come on.
So
It
while you're
won't.
doing that, do you want me to show everybody my latest drawing?
Sure.
All right, let me grab it. I'll be right back.
Copy to clipboard. Okay.
All right. So those of you who have been following us know that I'm trying to learn how to draw, and I have a long ways to go. So I drew again last night. So I thought maybe I would just share with you guys why Scott's working on getting Al Tong linked in to join us for our discussion. But here is the picture of my son, Austin. So this is what I was trying to draw. And this is the drawing. I don't know if it's showing up
Yep.
or
Looks
not,
good.
but okay, so let me see if I can put them side by side. There we go. So that's what I worked on last night. I have a
Very
long ways to
cool.
go, but I am really enjoying it.
Very cool. All right, let's see here. This laptop is just so horrendous.
Oh, okay. So Al said that the invite says his Mac top does not support it.
Oh, what? Huh. Well, hold on.
I'll tell him to try on his phone.
All right, let's see if we can get this to work. His Mac won't support it. Let me try this, because it might have been the way it shared the link. I'm trying it one other way, see if it matters. This goes so slow.
All right. Well, since we're still waiting, how about I go get my first drawing I did of Dr. Phil?
Go for it.
All right. Let me go grab that.
All right, you go get that. I'll do this. This is taking forever. Let me see if I can get this again. Let's see here. Copy link address.
So I don't think it's going to show up, but we'll see. This is my very first drawing. I don't know. Can you see it or is it too late?
Oh, yeah, I see it.
This was my attempt at doing Dr. Phil. I think you can kind of tell who he is.
I knew who it was.
I chose him because he had no hair and I didn't know how to draw hair. So it seemed like it would be the easiest person to draw. But the people I showed said they knew who it was before I told them. So that encouraged me.
Oh, very good. Yeah, it says he's got to download Chrome to be able to do it. I guess it doesn't support on Safari. That's the browser he uses.
Okay.
So, well, if you're able to get it to work, Al, just do it, and we'll hook you in. All right. So for me, let's see. This is what I started working on yesterday, but let me share this page. I'll share a screen. I want to do this. Say share. All right. Let's see here. So if I go and add this, there we go. There's our Team Titans page. And I want to go to, where is my art page? This is what I was working on yesterday. I was trying to do a live stream. It was just awful how it kept failing. Maybe it won't do that now, but this was the picture I was working on yesterday. I ended up stopping because my internet connection kept dying. So I'm hoping I can come back to this and work on it tonight, maybe as a live stream, and finish it up.
Now, where did you get your the model from? Is that in a magazine, or is that someone famous? Do we know who it is?
It's from World Vision. I have a child that I sponsor on World Vision. This one is not who I sponsor, but I just did a search for the kids in their database, and this was a picture of one of the kids. I'm trying to find the little girl here. There she is. I'll hold it up. Let's see here. There it is. There. I thought she looked.
That's a great picture.
Yeah. So I was looking at her and drawing. You see what I drew there. So that's what I was doing there.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it was fun. So I did that. I've also been working on some of these here. Let's see here. Did Al join us? No, he hasn't. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's able to join us.
Let's see. I'm trying to find some other posts that I've done recently. Let's see here. Here you can see the how I was streaming it. Let's see if it. Try and find where, like, you can see how I did the rough sketch. Let's see. That's how it looked when I started. This was just to block it in very roughly, you know, so that's how it starts. And then I zoom in, then I started working on drawing the eye, added the whites and the shadows. You can see how it just kept going from there. That's where I'm drawing the other eye. I'm just sketching in all the shadows and highlights. And when I turned off the background there, that's what you see there.
Now, I know, you're obviously a professional. One of the things I'm learning as I'm drawing is now when I'm out and about and I look at people, I am really starting to recognize the character and uniqueness of everyone's face. I guess I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it, Now you start looking at the shape of people's eyes and their nose and the placement of their chin, like versus their ears, and it causes me to really look at people differently now. Like in my mind, I think, okay, now how would I draw them?
Right. Yeah. So let's see. I'm trying to use this as a scroll function. Where did it go? Scroll. Oh, there we go. There's a way to use this. I have this. I'll just leave this so you can have it unblocked. Then I can hit this. Okay. This is another one I was doing. This is marker and ink. Oh, Al Tong, I think, is joining us. Let's see. Add to stream. And let's remove this one.
Yay!
There's Al.
Hi, Al.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm so glad we were able to figure this out.
Apparently,
welcome.
I can do it on my iPad, but not on my laptop.
Interesting.
Okay. I'm glad you were able to join us. It's great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you guys too.
And I see you have your freshly cut haircut.
Oh yeah, St. Baldrick's.
Yep. For those who don't know, St. Baldrick's is a great charity, and every year for St. Patrick's Day, they do a head shaving thing to raise money. And Al, is this your second or third year doing that?
Well, technically, I guess I've done two. This third one that I just did yesterday was on my own at my own house to honor my obligation of, for the pledges that were given to me. I think they'll give me credit for three, but I've only attended two.
Right.
Well, I mean, they still took the pledges, so I'm assuming it's still good.
Right. Yeah. So because of a public gathering, the official event was canceled. We usually Al is also a fellow 501st member. He's a fellow stormtrooper with the 501st, and we typically troop that event to help them raise money. But Al also goes the extra step with the shaving of the head.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun event. Usually we get about 6 or 7 people in costume, stormtroopers, snow troopers, rebels.
Yep.
And when we step up there as a group, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, I know Ron Zill does it. Matthew May also. I know both of them did it from home to honor their obligations.
Yeah, we had a couple of girls that.
That's right.
Their nice long hair. Like, look at Jill's hair. They took that off.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome that they were able to do that.
Jill.
That takes courage.
Jill. Yeah, and then
boy.
There are
I'm brave enough to do that.
There are a couple of new guys that have just recently signed up with the Garrison who did it. Michael Rose, Mark Witt. Yeah, I think they've been in about a year or less, both of them.
Very good. And then I'm going to post on here.
You also
Alan actually has a
shoulder.
Alan has a page for his 501st shenanigans here. Let me share that up there so that people can find you on your online there. Let's see, add to screen. There we go. So it's Al TK76239 is the handle there. I'll type it as a little banner here so people can find you. But yeah, so Al posts all of his fun antics as a stormtrooper on here. It's here we see Al was out walking to get his mail.
No, that one's actually the shave.
Oh, that was the shave. You're right. You did a mohawk first.
Yeah. And actually, in my profile picture in the upper left there is the last year's event.
There it goes. Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time there. And yeah, you guys did a great job raising money for St. Baldrick's.
I think the Great Lakes Garrison raised about 2,100, and then we had one Rebel Legion, John Solomon, raise another 250, 300. Something.
Nice.
So obviously, since John Solomon is on the Rebel side, he's not counted in our total, but he joins our event, and he's on our team.
Nice. And the other day, you also did the walking out. Here it is. Here's there's Al walking out to the mailbox.
But, I love that.
So, did you have any of your neighbors see you out there?
I think my area is there are a lot of older people and retirees where I live. They are all hunkered down. I mean, right now, there's no activity at all. Unlike other people like Ron Zill, who when he's walking down the street with his pictures, there's kids playing in the lawn and other people walking dogs, and I mean, there's nobody here at all.
Right.
I ran into only one lady who thought I was some sort of I don't know, health or germ worker. She wanted to know, what kind of suit that I was wearing and if it was that, serious. And
That's
I
funny.
said something like, it's the costume from Star Wars, and I'm doing a video. And she said, "Well, what's Star Wars?"
Right. Here's the post.
Oh, wow.
Here's the post for the money that was raised for St. Baldrick's this year and those who partook. So we had $2,102 raised this year.
Yeah, so there's me in the picture there with the mohawk.
Very good.
before I took it off. I thought I'd sport it for about half hour. I had another photo shoot that I needed to do with the mohawk and took advantage of it.
There's Ron doing his self head shave. And then I was trying to find his pictures from walking. What he's doing, because we're the 501st, is there he is. He goes out at 5:01 p.m. to walk his dog.
I love that picture.
That's a great photo. That should be like in the newspaper.
Yes, I agree.
A lot of
And the kids love seeing that.
Yeah, a lot of his pictures are from people in the neighborhood that have sent pictures back to him, which is why he was able to get such good pictures.
Right. Oh. We'll silence that. Was that your phone too, Jill?
We both. Yep. Yes, we both got the same call.
Yeah, so we're getting a call from our office, so we'll have to go pretty soon here. But yeah, so Ron started doing this, and so Al's like, "Hey, I got to do that too." So Al suited up. See, I think it helps that he has a dog with him.
Yes.
Because I thought about it, but I'm like, if I just go walk in the streets by myself, I'm gonna look weird. But somehow having the dog, I think, makes it acceptable.
Hey, I gave you the idea. You can take your cats for a walk.
No. But yeah, these are great photos. So it always brings cheer when people see us in our stormtroopers. So that's nice. So Al, anything going on your end other than being self-quarantined?
No. Like I said, most of my my neighborhood here is retirees, and every 2 days or so, got to go around knocking on the doors and making sure they have what they need. That's
Nice.
about it.
Well, very good. Well, we want you to
Now, what
stay
has it been
safe.
like for you when you go out to the stores? What have you been seeing?
Of course, the first week, I'm going to say Friday the 13th, we'll just use as a 0 day there, because I think that was a day when everything just sort of escalated.
Right.
I would say that that first weekend was a little bit tough. You couldn't find anything, but I didn't need anything because I sort of prepare for this kind of stuff. But I know I needed to make sure that my mom had things, and my neighbors had things. So I made a couple of trips that first weekend. It was pretty bad. Then the week after, it was quiet, and you could find just about everything except for hand sanitizer soap. Unfortunately, I think this past weekend, it's beginning to normalize a little bit. I had to run an errand to pick up some stuff for some neighbors, and it looks like Costco was beginning to fill up again with people that are wearing their mask and maintaining their distances, but the number of people seem to be almost back to normal. And I'm afraid that that's, where we're going to fall into complacency, and things don't get better.
Right. One thing I noticed when I was at Costco yesterday is they were limiting the total number of people allowed in the store. So there was a line outside, and when so many people left, they would allow the same number of people in. So they were trying to keep the numbers inside low.
Yeah, but then again, you still have people in line.
In line, exactly. So I think we're gonna have to get
I
going
saw the
because
same thing. I had to go to Home Depot. They had a line outside. Only a certain number was allowed in. As people left, and they let the next few in. So
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna have to end this because our office keeps trying to call us. So I think I'm gonna have to call in and find out what's going
Okay.
on because they've called multiple times in a row here. So thanks for
Okay.
joining us, Al.
Well, yeah. Now that I know how this thing works.
Yeah, we can have you tune in.
All right.
All right, you stay safe and
Good to see you.
we'll catch everybody tomorrow. We'll do another stream tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, take care, everyone. Bye.